There's finally some closure tonight in the heartbreaking death of a little girl from Bellingham who had been in the care of her father's girlfriend. Weeks of agonizing and sometimes graphic testimony showed that the girl had been subject to physical abuse over and over again. Now, Kamee Dixon has been found guilty in her death. Thanks for joining us for the news at 4. I'm Jennifer Lee. Fox 13 News reporter Frankie Thompson joins us now from the Whatcom County Courthouse. And Frankie, how did that verdict shake out for the two charges that Dixon was facing?
Jennifer, the jury finds Kamee Dixon guilty of homicide of abuse, but the court declares a mistrial on that charge of second-degree murder because of a deadlocked jury. Still, family of 3-year-old Hazel Homan say this is the justice they've been longing for since November 2019.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kamee Dixon, guilty of the crime of homicide by abuse as charged in count 1.
A guilty verdict now brings the longest trial in Whatcom County history to a close. A jury declares Hazel Homan died by abuse from Kamee Dixon, something the 3-year-old's family says they were suspecting from the start.
Hazel has been our number one, and that is what we have fought for, and I am so thankful for the jury members, for the prosecutors and their solid case with this, the advocates, everybody, because they have all helped our family to be able to get through this.
Hazel died in November 2019 of a brain injury. During the trial, prosecution showed autopsy reports from the King County Medical Examiner's Office revealing Hazel had 50 injuries at various stages of healing. Prosecutors argue the final deadly injuries can only be explained by abusive head trauma. Dixon's defense team argued the little girl's death was a tragic accident of choking on food, causing the brain injury.
The correct verdict was reached today, and we're so thankful.
Many of Hazel's relatives say they didn't know the extent of the abuse because they weren't allowed to be in the courtroom as potential witnesses. Ashley Barnes, Hazel's aunt, says it was hard enough hearing those details during closing arguments, but says she also found it difficult to come face to face with her brother, Brandon Homan, Hazel's father.
I can't wrap my head around how he would fight for his girlfriend's freedom when she is the one that murdered his biological daughter.
Relatives say this justice brings them some closure, but their fight is only beginning outside of the courthouse. They say part of their healing to keep Hazel's name alive is lobbying for change in policy within the State Department of Children, Youth, and Families.
The system is broken in Washington State, and how we protect children in vulnerable situations, and there needs to be changes. We don't need any other child to be lost because the state dropped the ball in protecting her.
Brandon Homan and supporters of Kamee Dixon are not commenting at this time. One of Dixon's attorneys did decline opportunity to give response about this verdict. We are waiting to hear response from Dixon's other attorney. In Washington State, homicide by abuse is a Class A felony with a prison sentence at a minimum 20 years and or a fine of up to $50,000. Reporting live in Bellingham, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13 News.